Hey folks, you're watching a Charlie in the Rain interview where I sit down with some of my favorite Aussie acts, have a little bit of a yap. I'm so excited for today. I am sitting down with an act. I was just saying, I've been wanting to do this for so long. We've been wanting to tee up a chat. We are finally doing it because this gorgeous artist is just releasing a song. It's out everywhere now. It is such like a track. You've just got to sit with it. Just trust me. Maybe like 3, 4 times on loop, you will be like a different person. You're going to realize stuff about yourself through listening to it. Such a gorgeous track, such a heavy track. I'm joined here today by the lovely, lovely, lovely YAGKI. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you? And you said yap. I love it. You put that in there, and I was like, frick yeah.
Yes.
And I was just saying as well to you that I've been wanting to chat with you for ages. I see you interview all my like other favorite Aussie acts, and I'm like, this is so cool.
Yes, no, I'm so excited. I'm doing so well. We've got the matching red hair going on. We are so in tune for this right now.
I was just thinking that, and like I have so much red dye because I had like someone here in like the States give me a bunch of red hair dye, and I was like, okay, I will never run out ever.
Yes, I love it. I didn't even like think much about when I was doing my hair red. I was like, yeah, okay. And everyone stopped me. They're like, I love it. I love it. And I'm like, thank you.
And then you get to match with things. Like I match with my watch. I'm nothing else right now. It's red or black for me. That's it.
Yes, I see like when I wear a red shirt or a shirt with like red writing on it, I'm like, it's popping. It looks so good.
And then everyone's like, oh, it's coordinated. And even if you don't have it coordinated, you're like, yes, it was coordinated. 100%.
Yes. Oh, I'm so excited to chat with you. There has been so much going on in your world. You have moved halfway across the literal world. You're releasing this track. There is so much going on. But today we're here to chat all things charcoal. You've been teasing this song for a little while. It is something that I've been waiting for, but I've been scared to listen to. I'm like, like by the time this comes out, I don't know if I'm going to be ready to listen to it. It is such a gorgeous track. It's such a heavy track. It's kind of just like the brutal honesty and like vulnerability you put out in this track. You don't see it. People don't write songs like this. They put it in a box under the bed and never talk about it. You've gone there. This is such a well-written song. You feel so much just listening to it. Can you tell us a little bit about Charcoal?
So charcoal, because I've touched on the story before with what happened to me, but I never had my records, and that was something that like me and even my psych had been talking about for like months to years at this point. But it was a whole process. So charcoal is purely written from those medical records, and when I got them back, it was maybe like May or June last year. And then I was reading through it, and it was just so graphic. It was completely graphic. It was all handwritten. And I kind of realized that I was like, okay, I need to write about this, because it almost felt like I was honestly looking at this, and like my body was freaking out. Like it's one of those things where, when you go into a room or you're going back in a situation, you can feel your body react and your mind just goes blank. So really, yeah, charcoal was started from the medical records of when I came into the hospital from the drug overdose, which is crazy to kind of say, and still kind of like, it's one of those things, yeah, like I'm saying it and you'll hear react, but it's just, I've done a lot of processing, which is good. And then, yeah, I wrote it all from those medical records.
Yeah, that's honestly just such a heavy situation to put yourself in. But the lyrics that have come from this, they just sit with me. Every time I listen, there's a new phrase that comes up, and I'm just like, whoa. I think my most recent listen, or one of the most recent listens, the line broken by what made me.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I just sat with that, and I'm just like, I can't believe anyone could write this. Like it's such a beautifully written sounds like the wrong way to say it, but you know what I'm saying? It's poetic. Yeah. It reaches something that you're just like, oh my gosh, I didn't know I could feel this with these lines. What is the process like sitting down with something this heavy, sitting down with those medical records and going, I'm going to turn this into music. I'm going to sit down and construct a song around all these heavy feelings?
I think before even getting them, I knew that music was going to be what I was going to do to process it. I kind of like, especially knowing that I was going to go into something quite heavy, like I didn't know what was going to be said in these records. I was like, okay, I know that I want to write about it. So I kind of already had that like preconceived in my head going, okay, I'm going to use music to really talk it out. But I guess the process of even like writing something like that, it was, I took a while, maybe like a few more weeks to like a month or two just to kind of sit with the records itself. Because there was a lot of things in there that I didn't know. Like I had no idea that I had seizures. I had no idea that that was happening throughout the entire thing. I had, there was like quotes from like my mum in there. And so I kind of sat with it on a while because as much as like I want to make sure I'm being true to my story, the way that I write it and the perception that comes across, it's really important to me. I didn't want it to feel like I was romanticizing it. I didn't want to feel like I was doing, like I was making light of it, but I also wanted to find a way to be true to my story, but also write it in a safe way, if that makes sense, and like have that onus on myself to do so. So I think that I kind of, how I wrote it and how the lyrics kind of came about was honestly just trying to process the process of me like actually like reading through it. So the verses are very much like when I was reading those records, it almost felt like as I was reading them I could see what was happening, but I felt so disconnected to it. Like, you know, when you think that you think you have a memory but you don't know if it's real or not. That was what it was feeling like the entire time. And then that's why everything's kind of in that second person for a while of it, because it just feels so separate. And then, yeah, the choruses were really written because it's like this survivor's guilt almost, where I was reading this and it felt like, it just felt like I'd gone through so much so young, but I couldn't remember or feel anything. So I almost felt guilty that I couldn't take some of that pain. I couldn't take some of that and I couldn't hold that. So that was kind of the process of really writing that. And the thing that like kept popping up for me was the visuals, and charcoal was just the like one of the first sentences, and I was like, that needs to be it. So that was how I wrote that.
Yeah, you just mentioned visuals. You've taken the scary thing of these handwritten records and you've turned it into like this full, like you did like the full like photo shoot. You've got all the visuals with this. You like hand painted them out. What was, how did that feel to take this thing that contained so much like so hurt and almost like not surprise, but it was like it was teaching you things about yourself that were repressed and forgotten, and you've turned it into an actual piece of physical art. How was that feeling like?
It's good. Honestly, these things as well, they've like, I went to Spotlight and I just got sheets, and you can kind of see that I just got a pair of scissors and I just like, but no, I think it was weird. It was really peaceful. It was almost like I'd hung them up outside my house and put on music, and it felt really, really therapeutic because I knew that I wanted to match the song to like a visual world, and the whole song's about, me just feeling like I was consumed by these records. So I was like, what if I'm just completely surrounded by it? So each one took about 2-3 hours because I was also fighting with like, Sydney just had really bad wind that week, like horrible wind. So there's a few videos where like my hands on the wall trying to like paint it. But it honestly felt, it was really relaxing. It was really calming. And it almost, I don't know if this makes sense, but me having my laptop there, reading the medical records, because every single word on here is from that document. There's not one word on it that isn't. And it almost like helped me find a better relationship with them in that sense. Like I can't describe it. I felt more grounded after doing it. And that's that. But they're really...
Gosh, because I remember seeing just like the sheet with all the words on it, and I didn't think much of it. And then I saw it again, like pop up online, and I was like, wait, you've actually taken like the records on there. Art is such like a healing like sort of release, and I just think that is such a cool thing. How has it felt being able to use all these different mediums, like the song and like physical art, to work through such heavy topics like this? Because charcoal isn't the first time you've done something like this. We were chatting just before off camera about your song Adults. You're processing these like real like personal, heavy, like not unique experiences, but just like very, very personal to you, how you've gone through them all, through these art forms, through music. How does it feel to be able to utilize that release?
I think it's still it gets better every release, but I think there's still it's almost like let me see if I can describe it, but it's gonna sound really silly, my description. It's like
Yeah.
the situation's here, and let's say it's in like an igloo, and what's happened and the experiences are here, but I have like almost it's like a trauma thing. You kind of get thrown away from it and you disconnect to it. And I feel like every time I make a piece of art or I write a song, I can kind of find myself back to it. So it feels like I've got, and it's like not power and control in a bad way, but it's almost like I can like not let these situations and these things that have been out of my control consume me, but I can kind of like find myself back to it. So it feels like using art and using music, I can kind of find a way to connect back to it in a healthy way rather than feel so separated from like memories and who you are. And I don't know if that makes sense, but it's such like, yeah, it's so I feel like every release I just get closer and closer to like being able to just come back to myself in those times. And it's one of those things where like I know like I've got really little siblings. I've got like 3 siblings under the age of 12, and a lot of what I do when I think about it, and the yappers as well, I'm like I don't want anyone to feel like they can't share their story, or their story shouldn't be heard, or it's not worth being able to be out there. And no matter how hard it feels for me, I know that they're always supporting me, and like I want to set up that, you know, example in any sort of way that nothing has to be like hidden. Like you can be proud of every part of you, and every part, whether it's bad or good, like, you know, broken by what's made me, everything is can, you know, be part of you. If that made any sense at all, or I just like rambled.
No, absolutely. I feel like that's such a, like, from my perspective as the fan who listens to these musics, yeah, who listens to these sorts of songs and this music. And I'm also a massive reader. I've got like 5,000 library books beside me.
I love it.
Being able
You go to the library as well. Sorry.
Yeah.
So
Literally.
I just saw the tag. I was like, wait.
I've maxed out my library card. I think my library card's at like 150% of what you can possibly borrow, and I just keep going back and they just keep letting me.
That's so cute. I love that. Well, sorry. Anyways, distracted. Yes, you were saying.
Oh no, the library has been my like favorite third space my whole life. That's where I've grown up. But like, as someone who reads so much and listens to so many songs that talk about a lot of heavy topics. I'm reading this book right now, just before actually, and I finished a scene and I was just like, I don't know how I can, like, you can't just move on from that. You've got to sit with it and feel and think. Having stories like the ones you're sharing through your songs, and like that's in all these different songs and books and pieces of media, really helps the listener unpack things that have happened to them or that are currently happening to them. I've read a lot, like through my university study, about things like the Me Too movement and like confidential files being redacted by the government that then come out. And there's a lot of people who say, yeah, I didn't actually realize I'd gone through things like this until I heard about Me Too, or I read those files, and it just put pieces together. Songs like Charcoal and Adults, you listen to it and you're like, actually, I'm remembering things. I'm thinking about things in a different lens. That is such an important thing that art is able to do, that listeners are able to do when listening to your music. So I just want to say, like, a big formal collective thank you for being this honest in your music, for reaching into these areas of yourself that may be viewed as like gross or heavy or just hard to process, and sharing them with people. It's such a thing that gets lost in the commercialization of it all, you know, the bright poppy, radio-friendly pop. It gets lost in that sort of grind that everyone seems to be on. So thank you so much for diving into these things and sharing it in such a public way. It's so monumental.
I honestly, I appreciate that so much. And I think it's like, even being here in LA, it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, you feel it, and I feel it like in my gut, like that I'm doing the right thing. And then you see, it's hard not to, especially in like where I am now, like everyone's like I did the show, right, and I had a few people performing, and they're like, and that's nothing wrong with that, and I was like, and they were like, this song's about heartbreak and this song's about love, and I went on and I was like, this song's about me overdosing at 3 years old, and this song's about this, and this song's about this, and it's one of those things where it's like there's going to be a lot of different people with different opinions, but as long as I stay true to myself and, you know, what you said, and hopefully other people feeling the same way, it's like that, those are the people that the song is for. And just, it's, yeah, I really appreciate that. So
Yeah.
thank you.
Oh, no, absolutely. I'd love to ask a very like loaded
Yeah,
question, but for
no, go for it.
anyone who's like sitting with these sorts of songs, sitting with charcoal, and then having these feelings sort of arise, like remembering parts of their childhood. I don't remember pretty much anything before the age of like 6 or 7. Like people who are sitting and then remembering these early monumental puzzle pieces of their life. Do you have any advice for people that have had feelings brought up by this song, if that makes any sense?
No, it does. I think if there is a creative outlet available, definitely trying to do something around that. Similar to when like I made the sheets, I finding something creative, whether it's painting or drawing or kind of like honestly, I sitting in the sun for me is really good, but like actually having something like there to, I guess, like kind of purge it out of you in a way, because I think that when you're feeling these things, it almost, if you keep it too internalized, it can just get very much swallowed. So like having some sort of outlet out, and if there's no creative outlet, honestly, maybe it's just like writing down how you feel about it and if it's brought up anything for you. And then if you want no one to see the paper, freaking scrunch it up, burn it, make a paper airplane, yeet it across somewhere. like I think having a way to kind of like really feel it and then get it out of your system. I think I'm a really big believer in because I used to be a bottler. I used to be a really bad bottler. I'd feel stuff, I'd keep it in and just, hold on to it.
Yeah.
And I think it's really important if anyone's, it's kind of remembered stuff or Charcoal's brought up something, finding a way to sit with it for a second, feel it, so you can actually like kind of, so it's not, just feel everything and then find a way to get it out. Because like even with Charcoal, like I was like, it brought, like when I was reading my medical records, like for a few weeks, I was like my nightmare stuff happened again, and I was like, oh, here we go. And like I just kind of, I rode that through and I felt it, and there were some times that I was feeling really sad and really low and up, and I kind of like let myself feel those things so I could get it out in a creative way. So that's what I'd recommend, just finding a way to feel it, get it out, and then if you have to repeat that process again and again, definitely. There's no right answer, it's just following whatever feels right for you and being okay to make mistakes with that sometimes, because you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah. Yes. You've mentioned a few times you've recently relocated to LA. You're living the rockstar life. Like, you packed your bags. You're like, I'm on a journey. I know what I want. I am loving this for you. It's kind of like Hannah Montana dreams that I'm like living vicariously through.
I feel like, and that's the thing, part of me is like, should I be like vlogging more? But sometimes like I think people, like it's kind of weird, like I'm doing everything I would back home, where like I'm practicing, I'm doing this. I recently, sorry, you want to ask a question? Please ask the question. I was gonna, we're just chatting about
tell us about the LA life. Like genuinely, I was mentioning to you before, it's like if I could, I would pack my bags and just run to anything. It's a feeling so many of us have, and to watch you out there, you're killing it. You're doing like little street interviews in LA. You're popping off. What has that been like? Tell us a bit about LA.
It's been good, I think. So I got here properly on the 29th of December. And January, February, I kind of spent, like I knew I was like, I'm just going to do as many gigs as possible. I was going to go out, network, and just play as much as possible, which I did. I don't know if you can see it behind me, but those little Polaroids, it's a Polaroid for every gig I've done here. So like every single show that I've done here, I've taken a little photos. There's been acoustic shows. I did a show at the castle. Like it's been really good. It's kind of just like the gig side. It's kind of navigating what are the like best spots, and it's kind of like speed running what I did in Australia here. Figuring out, okay, these like I don't know. Yeah. So the gigs, I'm at a point where I'm like, okay, I've done a bunch January, February. I'm going to slow down a little bit so I can like bring more people to certain shows. The people have honestly been really, really nice. And I think that like it's, you know, maybe it's because in the first 3 sentences I try and bring up to a new person that I'm Lebanese and bisexual and hope that I get like a gauge of like the energy. Because if I don't get good energy about those 2 things, I'm like, goodbye. But
Which is
everyone's
a very fair assessment in the American like climate right now.
yeah, and it's just it's hard because and I live with like Americans, and I sometimes say to them, I'm like, I feel like you guys are really desensitized to stuff around here because it's beautiful here, but it's also like it's really hard not to acknowledge that it's also really tough and for multiple reasons. And I've just been very lucky that I've made a lot of good friends. Like I was living in one place before with 2 other female musicians, and it was just really expensive. It's one of those things where I was like, okay, I need to move. And a bunch of other friends that were like, we're moving in, and I was like, oh yeah, sweet. So what's the house like? They're like four boys in a rock band. I was like, oh, okay, sweet. I'm gonna be like the 5th. I'm gonna be like, all right, let's do this. Let's frat house, cool. Not like a frat house at all. They're all very hardworking boys. But like, it's been one of those things where it's navigating. It's been great. It has been, but it's everyone here has got a different reason. Like some people are chasing fame, some people are chasing numbers, some people are chasing this. And I was like, and when I talk to artists, it's like I say the same thing. I'm like, I'm just trying to look for more yappers because more people. I feel like out of a lot of different places in the world, there's people here that are definitely going to need a space and a community that accepts them for every part of them. And I'm slowly but surely like building that. So yeah, it's been good. It is beautiful. It is a beautiful place, and I think that again, this is I don't know if this is even a hot take. I'm very honest. I think sometimes when I was in Sydney, I got this feeling of being comfortable, and I didn't like that feeling. And here, they're the complete opposite. They're like, go, 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 go. And I'm like, amazing. So I've been able to build up my little community here, but it's one of those things where I think the States, it's very typical. You hear that they're all like, go, go, and like grit and that, and they are. But then Australia has such a good music community. Like everyone like yourself is so, like they champion indie music so much. And I'm like, oh, if they just all got together and just found a way. Like I've been showing everyone like Unearthed even. Like me talking to like yeah, and I was like, oh, there's just this site that like unsigned artists are on, and they're like, whoa, like Americans are shocked by that. And I'm like, wow. I wish I could do something like that here for you guys, but it's been good. Like, do you have any questions? Ask me anything about America. I'm here. It's 9:31 Wednesday because I'm backwards right now.
Yeah, no, that was one thing I was so worried. I was like, is it like the middle of the night for you? Like, what's going on?
It's always how I remember it. I'm in Los Angeles. Sydney particularly, I guess for Brisbane it'd be 6 hours, but Sydney is always a day ahead, 5 hours behind. So Brisbane would be a day ahead, 6 hours behind. Anyways, I've gotten good at the memory. I'm so sorry.
No, honestly, I can't even keep up. I'm like, what time is it in Melbourne? Wait, Sydney? Wait, what?
Fuck, true, because I'm so excited I'm going to be in Brisbane soon, so Brisbane Gold Coast, yeah.
Okay, yes, I want to talk about that. I want to talk about tour. You're coming so soon. That's like the weekend before my birthday. You're coming up to Brisbane and the Gold Coast. So I'm so excited to finally see you then and meet you in person. You're coming back home for a little tour, for the charcoal tour. What can we expect? Can you tell us a bit about tour?
Well, actually, it's technically not even the charcoal tour. There's a second song that will be tied into this tour. So, and that hasn't gone on yet. So you can definitely have that. So I knew that from charcoal, I was like, the releases that come afterwards and the worlds that I want to build around these songs. I'm like, yeah, it's gonna be good. So I come back home. So I fly in hopefully around Easter, and then I've got Gold Coast first, but I think I'm about to lock in a Brisbane show as well. So a Brisbane and a Gold Coast show on the same day.
Oh my gosh, you're going to be driving around like crazy.
I've got a friend coming with me, and I was like, please drive, please drive, please drive, please help me, please help me. And then I come back home, do Sydney, and then Melbourne, and then I'm really excited for tour. I'm so excited to be home. I've been here for 2 months and I love it, but I'm at the last couple of weeks before I go home, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I want to have a lemon lime bitters. I want to go. But I'm very excited. I'm very, very excited, especially the Sydney show, like the hometown show, and like it'll be really good.
Yeah, honestly, I know you're like not in Australia right now,
Yeah.
but the spirit of your music is living on here because of your yappers. Oh my gosh. One of the like before I'd even heard of you as an artist, I heard your yappers making noise about you. You have
I
the
love
most like
them.
dedicated like fan base of the most lovely people, by the way. Everyone I've met who's like one of your self-professed yappers is such a lovely person. I love this community. How does it feel to be coming back and like having the opportunity to see some of these people face to face who have been supporting you for so long?
I honestly, I love it so much. I think that it like being here in my room and like talking on live and talking on like Instagram, it's like I can feel how much they're like here for me already. Like, so being able to be in person is going to be amazing. And I think that like the seconds, I'm really excited. I'm really, really excited for it. So it's going to be good. And I like, there's literally, I just, especially all of them, like I feel like I talk and I just know each of their birthdays, and now that I've got the birthday calendar back up and running, I know so much already. And this birthday calendar happened accidentally on live, and then it was a gift from like the Yappers last year, and then I just moved across the country, so I was like, I need to bring it back. It was just the most ADHD thing I did. I was like, yep, I'm gonna make this plan and do it, and then 2 months went past. So we're back on the Pokemon calendar. But I don't know, they've just, yeah, they've been, I've got all of them messaging me, like a lot of them like doing music themselves, and it's just I'm so proud of them. I'm so excited for them to be doing their own thing, and like I just want everyone that's part of this to feel like if it's a show or if it's a live or if it's another yapper, like you're then never alone. They're never alone in anything, and that's yeah, I'm really happy about it all.
Yeah, oh, it's such a gorgeous community. I feel like in Australia we have like, you know, like the big surf rock scene, or the like the communities
Yeah.
that really get behind the older acts that need to kind of like stay in the past. But when you look at our currents, like our up and comings, our emerging artists, and people who are like working behind the scenes so hard to like build some sort of fan base, you see a lot of artists that just unfortunately don't have that community around them. Then you look artists like yourself, you've got that community, they care so much. And it's such a lovely thing to see.
Yeah, I love it. I really do. So I'm very grateful for them. I'm very excited to come home in literally just a few weeks.
Yes. It's like almost a month away. That's so exciting.
I know, I've been counting down. I'm ready. I'm ready to go back to Australia. I'm so excited.
Yes. Oh, we're talking about your gappers. I adore this fan base that you've curated. And I'd love to ask, how can both your yappers and like the more casual fans that haven't yet reached yapper
A
status,
casual yap. Not a yapper, but a casual yap. Yeah.
yes, how can we best support you with the release of Charcoal, with your upcoming tour, with like the upcoming songs that might be happening, everything happening in your world? How can we best show you that we're loving what you're doing?
Honestly, it's like listening to music, and then also just like something that I love that the yappers do is like they yap. So if there's someone that you know that would connect to the song, or someone that you know that you know even just wants to be a part of that community, like being able to, we have the listening to the songs, then the finding more yappers. So that would be like literally the best two ways, because listening to the songs and finding different people that might connect to it is the best thing, I think.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like there's this big scary conversation about like, is AI gonna start like taking over your music consumption and like tell you what songs to listen to? One, don't get them to do that. The song suggestions they give you have literally no knowledge or understanding behind it.
I
Like,
haven't even, I saw it on my Spotify and I was like, I'm not even gonna click that. I'm just like, because I'm not clicking it, it keeps popping up and I'm like, no, I'm good.
so
I'm good.
I've
Yeah.
seen people ask it to make a playlist, and like I look at the songs that it's put next to each other, and I'm like, what? It makes
But
no
also
sense.
playlists are like people are so good at those. Like you spend time
Yeah.
on it and then you make things and you like can like curate like as like what you think's really good and then you've got like fun facts like, oh, I put this next to this because like you don't get that with AI. You don't get
Mm,
anything with AI.
literally. But like, I feel like it's now turned into such an act of resistance to even just like say to someone, hey, like, I really like this artist. Have you heard this song called Charcoal? I think you're
Yeah.
gonna take something from it. I think you'll enjoy
Uh,
like listening to it. That's now an act of resistance. That's scary.
yeah.
Like,
It's yeah, it's weird. I've got like here in LA as well, they're very passionate about like anti-AI, which is really nice to hear. Like it's really good. No one here is very like for it. So it's been good because everything that I say that's happening in Australia and stuff I see, I bring it up to them and they're like, yeah, about LA, AI, like they just like get on that and I'm like, okay, they're good here. So
yeah,
yeah.
no. Human connection with art and music is something that is so special. It's such an integral part of the human experience. Like,
Well,
that's your
I
life you're living. Embrace the art in it.
speaking of like in-person human
Mm,
experience, depending on when this comes out, so I don't know
mm,
if it will, but mid-March I'm doing a random trip to Texas, which will be fun, but my friends have a bus that they've turned into a band bus. So it's a school bus that they've put a drum set on and they stand
mm.
on the top of the bus while it drives and play music in the streets of Texas. So I think I'm going to be on top of that bus this at some point next week playing music in very real, very in person, very can't AI that, which will be very exciting. So that will be my act of resistance is being on a school bus
That
with
is
them.
so cool. Imagine just like going for a walk and just being like, that is a live band on top of a bus. That is
It's
so
literally a
cool.
live band on top of a bus. I will, it's, yeah, I'm not going to say anything and then I'm just going to randomly be like, hey guys, here's me on a bus. So
Oh my
that's my
God.
act of resistance will be a school bus band.
I love that. And see, and then we've all got the story like, hey, have you ever listened to an artist who's performed on top of a bus before? We've got an artist for you. We've got that suggestion.
The bus isn't red though, it's yellow. It's all bad. It's yellow bus. Frick. I'll just slowly perform and start painting it red to rebrand it.
And that's
I
performance
love how
art.
you're like, yeah, we're gonna do that. We are both gonna do the red.
Yes, I believe it. I swear, if you do any other interview and you log on and they don't have dyed red hair, log off. Just be like, sorry, not today.
Closing the laptop. Actually. Mm-mm. I'm so ready. I have a few yappers that have red hair as well, and they're like, do you love it? I'm like, I'm so biased, but I'm gonna say yes. But I hope you know my opinion is completely biased. I accept
Yes,
that.
it's a community. We're reclaiming red hair from the gingers.
We are. I'm so sorry to anyone. I love it. I love, love, love.
Okay, you mentioned my favorite buzzword there. We're loving it. I want to ask you my favorite question to close off our chat today so we can resume a month later when you come back. We
Sorry,
can
hi. There's a bunny now.
we can resume
Yes.
this chat in a month when you come back to Brisbane/Gold Coast, but I'm going to close it off today with my favorite question. I want to know which Aussie acts you've been listening to all the way over from LA. Which Aussie acts and Aussie songs have you just had on repeat? Give us a glimpse into your playlist because I'm so excited to hear your suggestions.
I am gonna be so real right now because I have that question a lot. What Australian artists like me being in LA? I am just talking about everyone like in Australia so much because they're so interested. So, first one that I've been talking about is Play Lunch because they're coming to America in August, and I've been showing everyone. I'm like, look at their videos, look at their music, look at this. So I've been playing every single car that I've gotten in has been like Keith. I've been playing. I've been. They're not small anymore in any sort of sense, but I've also been showing people our national anthem, which is Untouched by the Veronicas. So I've been playing that in every car.
America loves Untouched. Halsey came to like Brisbane to the venue I work at. I finished my shift. And then she brought out the Veronicas to perform Untouched. And I was just like, this is the peak of my life. What is going on? I was working 10 minutes ago and now the Veronicas are in front of my face.
Literally, I love them. So that was, and like every time I start that conversation, everyone's like, she's about to show us the national anthem. And then I do the da 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 da. And they're like, Besties. So there's a band in Sydney that I really love. So I work with the guitarist who does like production for me, and Max is the singer and he does like video stuff for me. And it's like this little like we write together. So I'd be showing them Besties, which is like pop punk. Yours Truly, which is pop punk again. Alexia, I've been showing them so much Maisie Peters stuff right now, so I can listen to her. I think that's those are the main ones. I literally go in rotations. I'm looking at my phone right now. Who do I mean, yeah, it's mainly them. Then Orotech, because they've been doing stuff, which is really cool. Yeah, that's really been it. I talk about Australian music a lot here because of everyone. That's the question on everyone's lips when I meet. And they're like, who should I listen to in Australia? So it's been great.
Also, I just love that. I love that we've got like all these little vessels overseas, all these like Australians going overseas being like, this is who you need to listen to. This is who I'm plugging. That's so cool.
Literally, I wish I brought more shirts. I wish I brought more band shirts with me. But when I was at the airport, I was 10 kilos over each of my bags. So I definitely could not have brought it, but I thought about it here. I was like, that's what I regret. I wish I brought more Australian band shirts with me. So I'll have to do that.
I love that. I literally like the band shirt I'm wearing right now. I just got it. And she's like, I've just printed this merch. I don't know if I can show you. It's the Aisha Madden brand new.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I love that. I love.
And I'm red.
Like,
that's going home with me. It's got the red. We love it.
Love it.
Yay. Oh my gosh, I love those recommendations. Thank you for one, sharing them, and two, for plugging them to everyone in America, like as you should.
As I literally should. I'm just like, I have no shame. I'm like, and I literally be like, give me your phone. This is what you're looking at right now.
Yeah.
I do. I honestly, I can't remember who I showed it to. I was, sorry, I'm going to keep yapping. I need to stop.
Yeah.
But I was showing when stuff blew up a little bit in Australia about the AI thing and conversations around that. I was showing a bunch of people here, like, I was showing them you, I was showing them Caitlin, I was showing them, I can't remember her username. Bands, Adelaide. Bands.
Band Banter. Dakota?
Yes,
Yep.
Dakota. Because I was like, when that conversation was happening, I was just like, you and everyone else that's doing that is like, just your support is incredible. So I am so appreciative for this interview, for chatting, and for properly actually being able to talk to you as well, because we'll see each other again in like literally a month, but we've been following each other for ages. I know we have. Thank you.
No, thank you so much for honestly championing Australian music and championing us yapping about Oz music over in America. That is such an important thing. You're helping us go global. You're bringing these Aussie names to a global stage. That's so cool.
I'm trying. I talk about you guys, and I also talk about the yappers. They know the yappers as well. So thank you.
No, I love it. I adore charcoal. Every time I go to listen to it, I'm always just like, I'm not ready to like emotionally process. And then I press play and I'm there, I'm in the zone. It is such a gorgeously written song. Thank you so much for sharing your songs and your stories with us, because as I said, it has such a monumental impact on the listeners. Even if I'm just like speaking for myself, like such a monumental impact. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Yes, and I'll see you in Australia.
I'll see you in Australia.